I'm Adie, I'm a Northcoder in residence, and I'm sat having a chat with two of our students. So what made you pull the trigger on doing a bootcamp rather than keeping on trying to teach yourselves?
Yeah, so my partner is actually a senior developer, so he actually had a look at the syllabus on this course, and he actually said because the stuff that was on it is very relevant to the stuff he was doing, so he said, good course, go for it. So I went for it, pretty much.
And how are you finding your first 3 weeks?
It's been really fun actually.
Yeah, really enjoyable. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, it's challenging. Every day is like you're learning something new every day, so you have to try and keep on top of everything you're learning. But the challenges that you're given are actually really fun. And the one we're doing right now, which is about Pokemon, you know, it's great, you know.
So what are you enjoying about that sprint?
You just have to be creative. You're given sort of a rough guide of what you're expected to do, and then from what you've learned previously, you're expected to kind of come up with your own version of what you think they want out of that.
What about you, Jenny? How are you finding it?
Before I started, to be quite frankly, I was a bit nervous about, because when we were doing pre-course, I was like, I'm not fully getting it. I was a bit nervous about starting, because I guess no one wants to be like the lowest of the low in the class. But then realizing like each week we're learning new things, and just to go back and see how much you've learned each week, it's great, because then you realize how much you can actually take in and learn, although you're still struggling. But it's nice to know that you're actually moving on and you're actually gaining something out of it. I think it's been quite, for me, like lecture's good because it's only about an hour and a half or 2 hours, which is great because I was worried it was going to be really long, because then I'm like, I'm not sure my attention span is that long either.
Yeah, me too. I thought maybe if it was like 3 hours of lectures, I'd be missing half of that because I can't focus for that long.
Yeah.
But it's actually broken up really well.
I think what's beneficial is the catas that we do, because you work with your pairs and there are things that they know that you don't know, especially when I paired up with JD. There were things he taught me a lot, which was very valuable to me.
Yeah.
JD, like before you were a cook, so I imagine that was like long hours. But how
11-hour shifts on my feet all day. Sometimes breaks were brief, you know.
How does that compare to being here 8:30 till 6 every day?
It's blissful being here, honestly. But it's challenging in a completely different way. Like I felt physically drained at the end of a shift as a cook, but doing this, I feel mentally pushed. So it's the absolute other end of the scale. Yeah. But I love it. So far I love every day. Yeah.
How about you, Jenny?
Basically, where I used to work, it is very busy because in fashion it's very fast paced. So I'm constantly on my feet. So actually sitting down in a seat throughout, it's actually bliss for me because you don't have to keep moving. But the only difference is, you are mentally challenged, because I've never slept so well every night after here. Literally, I had a sleep cycle on my phone, and literally it just drops as soon as my head touches the pillow.
I used to dream about code, like literally ones and zeros in my head when I was asleep the first few weeks on the course.
Yeah,
and I wasn't the only one. Like loads of people said, I have that dream all the time.
I was dreaming about functions the other day. How do I map? I think I came up with some genius idea as well, but I lost it as soon as I woke up.
You need a note journal, a dream journal. That's what you need. Last bit of advice for people if they're thinking about doing this but they're worried about taking the jump. Is there anything you'd say to that?
For me personally, I took a massive jump into deep water because I quit my job before I knew I got the place, but I do not regret it for 1 minute. I can see this leading to an actual career. So
same here. I think like most people worried that they can't do it. That's initial, I think, on everyone's mind when they first start. But I think if you can put the time and determination to actually try and understand and learn it, I think you would get there. And as you say, I think this course has taught us a lot of things that is very relatable to the current industry, which then, especially yesterday's session on how like the development, when you're talking about how useful our skills that we've learned would be comparable to graduates and people looking for jobs, it just boosts. I suppose you want to do this because you want a change in career, and I think I'm kind of in the direction of there, hopefully.